We launched the poster here today in Johannesburg in Bree Street because the municipal governance in a place like Johannesburg has come to epitomize what South Africans are receiving on a daily basis across the length and breadth of South Africa. Streets that are literally exploding, rubbish that's not collected, opportunities being killed, jobs being destroyed, and governance that's failing the people as it continues to serve the politicians and not the people. But the rot and the extent of the failure doesn't begin and end in Johannesburg. I've spent the last 4 months on the road visiting small town South Africa in a variety of provinces. And everywhere I've traveled, the story is the same. Citizens locked out of opportunity with municipalities that don't care, that don't spend money on the people, that spend money on the projects that make the politicians wealthy and the connected incredibly rich, but leave the poor excluded and behind. And my message to South Africa is it doesn't have to be this way. That working together, we can build a new majority in South Africa. Working together, we can build and make sure you have a government that can serve all the people of this beautiful country. South Africa is a wonderful place. South Africans are incredible people. We just have a government that's working against us, not together with us, to get the country onto the next trajectory. Just this week, while in Mpumalanga, I saw firsthand how RDP houses built for the poor are falling down literally around people's ears. We were able to hand over a house in Mpumalanga to a family who had been living in one of these RDP houses. What should have been the pride of home ownership came to a crashing end when their house literally collapsed in upon them. And we were able to give them back their dignity. But we need to now do the same across South Africa. We need to be able to send a clear message to South Africans that if you're tired of corruption, if you're tired of load shedding, if you're tired of your job being put onto short time, you're tired of looking for work every single day, that there is hope for a better future. Because for the first time in 30 years, the outcome of this next election is not a foregone conclusion. And the power will lie with those who are registered to be able to change the trajectory of South Africa forever. And as Sibiwe has said, 1994 was our election for freedom. But 2024 is going to be our election to save and rescue South Africa from the clutches of this government that has stopped caring about the people on the ground. And everywhere I've traveled, people are desperate for this change. They're filled with hope that there is a pathway to victory now, and that parties are coming together to form a new majority in this country. But there is also a group of people in South Africa who I want to speak to specifically today. And those are the people who are not registered, mainly young people between the ages of 18 to 35. The frustration, the endless broken promises, the promises that things are going to get better but they get worse every day, the promises that you'll be kept safe when 76 members of our citizenry die every single day, the promise that you're going to get a job when jobs evaporate, the promise that finally there'll be clean, accountable government evaporates every single day, and we see there's not even enough money in government to prosecute those who've been found guilty by the Zondo Commission. So all of these promises of the new dawn that were promised by Cyril Ramaphosa have faded away like the morning mist in the deep sun, the harsh sun of nepotism, corruption, maladministration, and greedy politicians and elites who lock you out of opportunity, who lock you out of an ability to build a better future for you and your family. So my message to you today is that load shedding, water shedding, water shortages are all an indication that while you may not be interested in politics, politics is very interested in you, and it affects every aspect of your life, from the tap you put on in the morning to whether you've got electricity in your home or your business, the state of the road that you travel to work if you're one of the lucky South Africans to have a job, the quality of public transport as people desperately look for work across South Africa. Whether the factory in which you hope to find work was able to operate because of electricity shortages or not, or whether the school in which your child is learning, you're getting a decent education in an environment where 82% of grade 4 learners cannot read for meaning. What chance do they have in a world already filled with 65% youth unemployment? What chance do they have in a world where technology and machines are starting to develop in magnificent ways? We need to prepare our young people for the future. What chance do you have when NSFAS funding is cut off and children and our university students are unable to get the education they need to help build our country? My answer to you is simple. The answer lies in your vote. You can throw stones, you can toy, you can hold up placards, but the most powerful weapon that you have to affect change in our beautiful country is that vote that you will use on election day. But you will only have a vote if you're registered to vote. So there's no such thing anymore in South Africa as I'm not interested in politics. You better get interested in politics because it is very interested in you. There's a further group of 14 million South Africans who are registered to vote but did not exercise that vote in the last 2 elections. And my message to you is similar. South Africa needs you. The South African people need you. And our children's future needs you now more than ever before. You have to be an active participant and you have to vote for change. Not voting is a vote of confidence in the status quo. It means you're happy with an unemployment situation where half of our people in this country remain unemployed. It means you're happy with the terrible quality of education that our children are receiving. It means that you're happy with blowing up roads, with water outages and electricity that's off. It means you're happy with corruption that is robbing you and your family of an opportunity. And it means that you're happy that government treats grant recipients in this country with absolute disdain to the point where they go to Post Bank and their grants are not in their account. So we need every citizen to be part of pushing the hinge of history in the right direction, to make sure it opens the door of opportunity. It opens many, many more possibilities for all of our people in South Africa. If we don't all stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and push against that hinge of history to make sure it opens the door, it's going to shut the door on all of us. We will have a failed state where there's no money to provide grants. We will have a failed state where service delivery gets even worse. We will have a failed state where politicians will continue to live in mansions while our people live in abject poverty every single day. It means our cities will continue to pile up with litter and filth and degradation, the likes of which we see behind us here today. But the message is one of hope, because we don't come to curse the darkness. We're here today to light a candle for South Africans. And those posters behind me are the clarion call to every citizen that now is the time to join hands. It doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter whether you live in an urban area or a rural area. It doesn't matter the language that you speak. Now is the time to stand shoulder to shoulder to rescue South Africa and build a better future. I know that when South Africans stand together to achieve something, nothing and nobody can stand in the way of us succeeding. So South Africa, let's unite and let's rescue this beautiful country of ours. It is a wonderful place. Our people are innovative. They want to work. They want to build a future, and together they want to build a country. So let's unite and make that dream a reality. Together, there's nothing that we cannot achieve. Viva South Africa, viva! Viva DA, viva! Forward to the future, forward. Thank you.
Get help registering to vote at check.da.org.za. Register to rescue South Africa.